Thank you for joining us for episode 3 of Faithful Talk. We have Brian waiting on hold, but before we get to him, we want to remind everybody that you can tune in to every stream on Niner Faithful Radio live on Twitch at twitch.tv/Niner Faithful Radio. If you're listening to it as a podcast, please make sure to rate, subscribe, and review. Also, if you're on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button and the notification bell. Make sure you know when we upload any video. For the faithful, by the faithful, pre-launch sales coming July 30th. Save 20% off of all our designs. Go ahead and go to ninerfaithfulradio.com/shop for more details. Go to seatgiant.com and use the promo code NinerFaithfulRadio to save on all your theater, concert, and sporting event tickets, as well as help out the show. Get your officially licensed Niner gear from shop49ers.com by using our affiliate link, which is in the description of this video and podcast. It doesn't cost you anymore, and it really does help out the show. Go to NinerFaithfulRadio.com to check out all our blogs, previous episodes of all our shows, and a bunch of goodies that we have over there. Follow us on social media on Facebook and Instagram at Niner Faithful Radio, and on Twitter at Niner Faithful R. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, let's start the show.
Now, 8 seconds to go, third down. They only have time for 2 plays no matter what. So Rice goes out to the left. And if you want to take one crack, maybe he's the guy you should go for. Young almost falls down. Throws to the end zone.
What's up, everybody? We're ready. Let's bring Brian on. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Legendary, bro. You know, any day you wake up a 5-time champion's a good day, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, legendary idea of going to go ahead and look at a few, well, all our pending free agents of 2022, and I think that becomes relevant because as we get into the season, and everybody wants to do trades and bring this player and bring that player in, and we'll get to certain players that we think will be traded, throughout maybe be traded throughout the offseason. But the elephant in the room is Fred Warner's contract. Now we all know he is, and we're gonna get into linebackers tomorrow on Niner Faithful Radio, and we have Dylan's blog coming out probably tomorrow on linebackers position breakdown. But I think that it's very important to pay Fred Warner. I mean, we need to pay that man, but also to keep in mind that you also have Nick Bosa coming up for a contract. You have Debo coming up for a contract. Pretty much anybody in the 2019 class will be due, that's still on the team, will be due a contract, after this season, and or will be eligible for a contract. Mike McGlinchey will be, on his 5th-year option. So, with us trading for Trey Lance, I mean, let's be real. we're not gonna have the draft capital where it's just, hey, let's draft everybody. So some free agents are gonna have to be brought into this team. Now, I have been quite open on this show, and Brian, we'll get your thoughts on this here in a little bit. I've been quite open on the show how I believe as long as Trey Lance is on a rookie deal, we have a championship win now. I believe that's pretty much what you got to do in the NFL. That's your best chance to build the best football team around your quarterback is to hit on a quarterback on a rookie deal, and to hit on the quarterback in a rookie deal, and build a team around him. So the draft capital ain't there. You're gonna have to bring in some type of free agents. I believe the best thing is to sign your own. Brian, where are you on? Okay, so let me read the list first, and then we'll go through individually and say keep, get rid of. Laken Tomlinson,
Okay.
Brian, to you, keep or get rid of. He'll be a free agent. He'll be in his. Hold on. I believe he's going to go into his 33rd age season next year.
I'll say keep. Just don't give him over a 2-year contract. He'll be 35 at the end of that, and he was a good factor in our offensive line.
I'm looking it up right now. He was born in 92, so he'll be 30 next year in February. So
yeah,
I say, this is my thing is I say right now, I would say probably the team's hope is that Jalen Moore would be ready to take a spot next year. I love Laken Tomlinson. I honestly, Trent Williams is our most talented, offensive lineman. He's our best offensive lineman. That's why he's the highest paid tackle in football history. But it's I think the I don't want to say the glue, but to me the most reliable. I don't even want to say most reliable. I just love freaking Laken Tomlinson because the man shows up every game and does his job. And mind you, he might not be the greatest guard in the league or high, but the man doesn't miss games.
Consistent.
He's out there every snap. He's good enough that how often do you really notice Laken Tomlinson? Now you could say that's a bad thing because he's not blowing up everybody and everything like that. But you know what? I'll take an offensive lineman you don't notice because as we've seen with Mike McGlinchey last year, you can be noticed in the wrong ways. And we'll get into a little bit of that later as well. But I'm in. You see how Jalen Moore looks at the end of the year, and if you don't think Jalen Moore's ready to step in and let's be real, compete at what we hope is a Super Bowl caliber level, then I'd take Laken Tomlinson. If he's willing to stay around for, like you said, a year or two, you keep him around 30, 31, 32. I have knock on wood, of course, and pray to God as we all faithful have to, but he's not a significant player that would make me think that he's slowing down in any type of way. Like he's not getting injured a lot more or anything like that. If he keeps a clean bill of health this season, I would assume if you're going to take Alex Mack, and we all know Alex Mack one of the best hitters in the NFL, but he's going to be age 32. Then I don't see why you wouldn't keep Laken Tomlinson until at least 32. So I agree with you there. Richie James, keep, get rid of, let walk. I don't think you're getting anything in the trade.
Yeah, we use him primarily as a special teams player, and occasionally, when we have a little bumps on the wide receiver core, we sometimes move him up to number 3. But I don't know. I feel like this receiver you know, class is in deep. We have five good receivers, and a guy I see stepping in is Jawan Jennings.
Yes, yes, yes. I love me some Juwan Jennings. Go ahead.
So depends. Is he, you know, he's definitely not a superstar player in our team. So um, if we can retain him for a cheap minimum deal, yeah. But who knows what he's looking for?
Well, I think the thing with Richie James is I this is his shot, and to me it's look standing right now. We all presume he's going to be the number three receiver. I mean, you would think Mohamed Sanu. Obviously, there's players. Look, if all players healthy and knock on wood and all that, considering it's not even going to be a chance. Richie James probably doesn't make the roster. Well, I wouldn't say he probably doesn't make the roster, but he's going to be in competition for it because Jalen Hurd's going to be the third receiver. The
Yeah,
the the Niners want Jalen Hurd to be our slot receiver. They want him to be our slot receiver, our H back. They want Jalen Hurd healthy and on the field.
and
I'm not like we've discussed the receivers already.
yeah,
So to
and
me,
also when it
it's
oh
if Richie James, go ahead, go ahead.
no, you're going. If Richie James was
So if Richie James, this is his year. So if Richie James steps in and he's a starting slot receiver, and I don't think he'll obviously won't produce at the level that he did against Green Bay, but
mhm,
the man does produce when given the opportunity, And so this is my thing: is hey, go out there and earn your contract. Go out there. And would I love to have Richie James back on the Niners next year? Yeah, I would, because that means that he's gone out and he's proven that he's worthy of being on this roster and
yeah,
worthy of a second contract. Awesome, especially for a seventh round pick. That's amazing. That's what's up. That's what you want. That's what if we're gonna build. If it's famous, the Patriots don't play their players. We all know this, right? How did the Patriots build what they built? They did it by the draft and selective free agent signings,
yeah,
and then paying very few players, you know, and so it's that's what we need to do. We need to hit on seventh rounders and everything like that, especially if you're gonna lose out on both of the first rounders in 2017. And let's be real, George Kittle and DJ Jones are pretty much saving the 2017 draft class.
yeah.
Let's be real.
It sucks that he's not here with us.
Even 2018. Yeah, and 2018. Oh, look, I literally when we drafted Reuben Foster, I was looking at my then girlfriend, and I literally was jumping up and down saying we drafted the next Patrick Willis. I
Mm,
literally thought that that's what we had drafted. Yeah, I thought we had drafted the next Patrick Willis. I thought Reuben Foster was going to be a piece. I didn't think. I thought personally, honestly, if you would have put a gun to my head, draft night of 2017, I would have switched the picks. I would have took Reuben Foster third overall, and I would have took Solomon Thomas with the 31st pick. And
yeah,
I think that's probably about where Solomon Thomas should have been taken. Honestly, it wasn't his fault that he if he doesn't take that class at Stanford with John Lynch, he's not the third overall pick.
yeah.
And anyway, so I would love to have Richie James back on the team. Uh, would I put money that he is? No. I would put money. I would put money that I like. You said I love some Juwan Jennings. I love me some Juwan Jennings in the red zone because let's talk about an elephant in the room with George Kittle. He doesn't score many touchdowns. You
Yeah.
feel me? And let's be real, because George Kittle's not a great route runner. You know, George Kittle is basically he's beast. He's best tight end in the league. He's a yak monster. And set up it's
He definitely creates
George Kittle is a Pro
separation.
Bowl tight end by himself. I believe like George Kittle. Yeah, he creates separation. And George Kittle is a Pro Bowl tight end by himself. Just pretty much going to almost any team. I believe George Kittle can get consistent Pro Bowls. But as long as it's not an AFC team, as long as it's not an AFC team, in
Yeah,
the
we don't
NFC
want
he can consistently get Pro Bowls. Yeah, because I mean the AFC you have to go it up against Kelsey. It happens every year. It's why honestly I believe Bryant Young would be in the Hall of Fame. I believe Bryant Young isn't in the Hall of Fame already because he played in the era with Warren Sapp and Randall Cunningham, and some great D linemen. It happens. Anyway, so it's with Kyle Shanahan, George Kittle is a Hall of Fame tight end, with Kyle Shanahan as his play designer, head coach, and offensive coordinator or play caller. So, but he's not a great route runner, and to score touchdowns in the red zone, you gotta be a great route runner. That's where Juwan Jennings comes in because he's gonna be physical. He's going to be. I believe that he's in straight competition with Jalen Hurd. I believe that Juwan Jennings was drafted as Jalen Hurd insurance. Obviously, not to the level. Jalen Hurd's a third-round pick, and everything like that. And I remember when they did in 2018, when they did or 2019, sorry, when they did the rookies used to hype up the crowd at training camp and everything like that. He came through the crowd, and I remember he high-fived me, and I was like, damn, he's strong. Like you just even like walking through, kind of just casually, slapping hands. I was like, damn, bro.
You could feel his energy.
I believe Jalen Hurd can be a freak if he can maintain his athleticism. Yeah, I love it. So I wouldn't put my money on Richie James being on the roster, but I wouldn't be surprised. I hope so because I am a Richie James fan. I've loved Richie James ever since he scored that touchdown against the Seahawks when we beat them in 2018. So I was there at that game. So
we definitely need more backflips, walk-offs, because every time we'll
yeah. We win, he does the backflip. Yeah, exactly. And I'm all for that. I love traditions. I'm a tradition type of man. And so, I hope to see Richie James black flipping, into the end zone and at the end of games all year long. Exactly. I'm glad you brought that up. And I think that like we were speaking off air in our pre-show meeting, we were talking about how it's important that we can't bring everybody back, but it's important to bring certain players back because if you talk about the culture, and I remember when Juice during last season they brought up the fact that he might not be able to re-sign with the Niners, and he got emotional because he talked about how it's a brotherhood here, and they've built a family over here and everything like that. And I remember, I like to, Brian, you're gonna learn about doing the show with me. I like to connect, many things to back to the dynasty, to Bill Walsh and to when we were the Niners.
Yeah.
So to me, I remember I took a train over when Dwight Clark died, and they did the Letters to 87 book. I went to the book launching out in San Francisco. I took the Caltrain, and Dwight Hicks, Keena Turner, and Eric Wright were on the train with me. And as I was walking off the station, I bumped into them. I shook their hands and everything. And Dwight Hicks walked with me, from the train station to the place it was at. And I was chopping it up with him and everything like that. And I was asking him a lot about Dwight Clark and, what kind of teammate he was and everything like that. And I remember he looked at me, he laughed, and he goes, because you think all of us would be out here in San Francisco to do this book launching and everything and do everything we did for Dwight if he was, a shitty teammate. Everything you heard about it. But I stepped back for a moment and I thought, about everybody, right? All these players coming out to San Francisco and when they went out to Montana and doing all this for Dwight Clark, right? Their teammate. Some of them probably haven't even seen him in years. But still, like they did all this for this. It's because of the brotherhood. And that's important. That I believe that's why we won 5 championships. And so I think that that's important to keep around with the Niners now. And fine, we can't re-sign everybody. I understand that. Some players are going to leave. But if you tell me that Richie James wants to sign on a minimum deal just to freaking do backflips because it means it's a good luck charm, and I'm all for that. I don't care if that's what it takes to keep a winning culture. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Moving on, Jake Breckel. We're not going to do that. Travarius Moore. I think this is an interesting one. I'll go ahead and take this one, and then I'll get your opinion about it, Brian. But
Yeah.
Travarius Moore is interesting to me because obviously coming off a torn Achilles, look, modern medicine is a miracle and everything like that. But a man who's based his game off of his athleticism, that's concerning. If you're coming off a ruptured Achilles,
Yeah.
that is concerning. And so to me, if Travarius Moore, but you see the talent. I did yesterday on Red and Gold Rewind. I did the New Orleans game, Week 14 in New Orleans. The 4th-and-2, the Kittle 4th-and-2 play game.
Yeah.
And Travarius Moore, basically, let's be real. Travarius Moore did PI. It was pass interference with Travarius Moore on that fake punt, but there's no pass interference on a punt. There's no pass interference. You can rough up the gunner all you want, and so that's that level of understanding of the rules, and that's important. That play in that game in New Orleans was important, because if they score a touchdown there, who knows how that game changes, and plays like that are important. So the talent is there. They're picking the Super Bowl. The talent is there with Travarius Moore. So on a 1-year prove-it deal where you say, hey, we want to make sure you got your athleticism and what made you worthy of probably a second contract. We want to make sure that's still there just to protect the team. You have to do that. You have to do what's best for the organization. So 1-year prove-it deal, and then you prove it to us, we'll sign you to a contract. If Travarius Moore proves that he's still got his athleticism and everything like that, I have absolutely no problem signing him to a contract. Brian, your thoughts?
Obviously I saw him on the 2019 year, with some injuries, I think with Jimmy Ward, and he was good. It's just that his consistency wasn't there. He would have some really good games and some really awful, and would put 36 Harris, and I just need to see more consistency and on his proven year, and from there, let's see what's even, for the contract extension.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with everything you said. It needs to be consistency. Now, where I combat the consistency thing, which was an issue, let's be real. Yeah, Marcel Harris did come in because Travarius Moore wasn't getting it done in 2019. That is true. He was taking the horrible angles, but which is a problem for a free safety. It was a problem really for any safety. So, yeah, that's clear. But I think that what's important is I think that consistency comes with playing time. If you said, hey, look, we've given you 32 games, you played in 32 games, started at 16, or 12. And, this is consistently an issue. Okay, fine. I get it. Okay, fine. You could say, hey, you've been consistently an issue. But, like I said, you can't. We can't go into next year needing a safety, needing a linebacker, needing a DN, needing a guard, needing we can't go into the draft needing everything.
Yeah.
So I prefer, unless it's like a top tier, or I should say like a proven veteran, I'm all for re-signing. I'd rather keep it in-house. I'd rather re-sign our own players. So if you tell me that we could bring in a free agent or re-sign one of our own players and the talent is about the same, well, I'd rather take the player that the player that their worth ethic, how you feel secure about how they're going to handle money. You know, you've invested in them. You've developed them. You know how to coach them. Those type
Yeah.
of things. I think that it's so much of football is not necessarily just talent. We've seen it all the time. We've seen it here with the Niners. Aldon Smith, all the talent in the world, probably one of the most talented draft picks in team history on pure talent. Aldon was it like when Aldon wanted to get to the quarterback, he just made it up in his mind. Hey, I'm gonna get to the. There's no stopping him. You just couldn't
Yeah.
stop Aldon Smith. The only way he was going to be stopped was eventually how it did, which is off the field issues. But then how many times do you see players who aren't really that talented, but make huge impacts? End up being, Jerry Rice wasn't some high recruit. Dwight Clark. And so what I'm saying is that it's important to keep our own players. And I think we both agree 1 year prove it deal. He's back. Josh Rosen. I'll let you go ahead and take this one first. Are you keeping the chosen Rosen?
um. Yeah, primarily as a
That was
backup.
sarcasm, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Okay. No. I'm
Primarily
just
as
letting
a
everybody
backup.
know that was sarcasm. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, Brian.
Yeah, primarily as a backup. I'm pretty sure, like, he might get a couple of steps and on the field during warm ups, but you know, maybe as a practice squad player or backup, third string. But you know, he won't
Yeah, you're not.
get
You're
paid.
okay. So this is honestly what I agree. Essentially, what you're saying is look. I'm not one of these people that's thinking that really secretly the most talented quarterback and the one that we should be starting is Josh Rosen. No, I'm not one of those people. You feel me? Josh Rosen is at best a third string quarterback on this team.
Yeah,
Practice squad player at best. Because let's be real, if he's better than Trey Lance in the long run, that's a real big issue for the Niners. A real big issue if Trey Lance or if Josh Rosen is the second or even best quarterback on this team, which he's not. But I'm up to the point like this, and let's be real. If the elephant in the room is all about Jimmy, and this actually gets into our free agent contract
Mhm.
thing that we're doing, is it all starts with Jimmy. Is what you think is whether you're a Jimmy stan or not. If you are a reasonable Niner fan, a reasonable faithful, you have to say Jimmy Garoppolo's health is an issue. Okay, we've lost 2 seasons. Now we were excused because 2018 at the end of the run, I remember Adam and I, my old co-host, discussing this all the time. Bosa is going to be worth it.
Mhm.
Bosa is going to be worth it. Oh, lo and behold, he helps us get to the Super Bowl the next year, huh? But, and I'm sorry, if Jimmy's healthy, we're not in position to take Nick Bosa second overall. So, fine, but in 2020, it was an issue. Jimmy's health has been an issue. So Jimmy gets hurt. Okay, let's say that I think that's the most likely scenario that Trey Lance gets on the field this year in a permanent starting role. Is that Jimmy's hurt? Okay, heaven forbid, knock on wood, Trey gets hurt. Okay, most likely, yeah, the season's in the shitter at that point. That's worst case scenario. That's we might have some franchise issues. We might need that's a real bad panic situation. But would you rather see the Niners trot out essentially the equivalent of Nick Mullins and CJ Beathard? Would you rather them trot out somebody that was at least the 10th overall, a top 10 selection in the draft, a first round
Yeah,
quarterback? At some point, somebody believed enough. Let's be real. Josh Rosen's probably still on the Cardinals if Cliff Kingsbury is not hired as the head coach, right? Nick Bosa is probably an Arizona target because they don't take Kyler Murray. If I forget who the coach was, but if the coach that was in before Cliff Kingsbury didn't get fired, Nick Bosa is a Cardinal, and Josh Rosen is probably their quarterback, or at least he's washed out of the league. At least you know that he was no good.
Yeah.
So to me, if we're on our third string quarterback, my personal opinion is if we're on our third string quarterback, I'm sorry, until proven otherwise, which we'll see throughout the preseason, and hopefully it doesn't get to that point during the regular season. I'd rather see Josh Rosen trot out there, and then let's say, hey, let's see what we have in this, former first round quarterback, then trot out Nate Sheffield or you know what I'm saying, anybody else.
Yeah.
Let's be real. At least then you could say, and then fine, and then you know the answer. Hey, he's garbage. He really is a third string practice squad quarterback. All right, fine. Hey, whatever. You're on your third string quarterback. Like, it is what it is at that point.
Yeah.
But if you find something, then hey, maybe you could trade him. Maybe you re-sign him. Who knows?
Yeah.
We all think that Jimmy's probably not going to be on this team this year, so you're going to eventually have to have a backup quarterback. So if you found it in Josh Rosen and he can come in off the cheap, he's not going to be $25 million like Jimmy Garoppolo. He can come in at the cheap at, $6, $7, $8 million for a couple years, and you got yourself a backup quarterback. All right, I don't think that's the worst for Josh Rosen. And because Jimmy's not going to stay here and be the backup. So then, fine. Hey, trade Jimmy today. Cool. Who's your backup quarterback? Trade Jimmy today. Fine. Okay, cool. Who's your backup quarterback? At this point, I'd rather have Josh. Anybody who's on the roster right now at this point, I'd rather have Josh Rosen than anybody else. Try it out there as number 2 if Jimmy's not on the team. And obviously that means trades our start. All right, moving on. Trent Sherfield, I don't see him bringing him back. Brian, are you bringing him back?
The quarterback from that was in Philly, right?
Wide receiver. Wide receiver. Sherfield. Trent Sherfield.
Let me see. I haven't.
He's probably not going to be on it.
I can't remember the name.
We're not going to go over we're not going to go over every single one because I just don't think we have the time. Sean Coleman, I don't see him coming back. Nate Gary, I don't see him coming back. Kevin White's not coming back. Jordan Willis. We talked about Jordan Willis, and I guess this is a good time to bring up that he has been suspended 6 games for performance-enhancing drugs. The thing that Eric Crocker brought up on Locked On 49ers podcast that I thought was pretty interesting is that he tends not to give Jordan Willis the benefit of the doubt because the league, your first time getting popped with PEDs, you don't get a 6-game suspension. You generally are getting a 6-game suspension because you've been caught multiple times, or at least more than once. This is at least your second time. And so, oh, sorry, I didn't know that was a banned substance, or, because the league does switch it up. They'll have 1 year something's legal, the next year it's not. And, oh, sorry, I didn't know it was on the – if you're going to keep on getting caught multiple times, enough to get suspended 6 games, there's probably a little something there. This is concerning just simply off of depth. And we were just discussing this in our pre-show meeting, with I don't want Nick Bosa going 100% of the snaps week 1. You were talking about early in the year. I think we were discussing early in the year, bringing him in pretty much on just specifically passing situations, and building him up slowly as the year progresses. Losing Jordan Willis for the first 6 games hurts. So I don't believe that we have to cut him right away. I'm assuming because he can participate in training camp, he can participate in preseason games, and so it's just I'm assuming what happens is when final rosters have to be made, he just resorts to the suspended list, and then after our bye week, we have to make a decision on either to cut him or cut somebody else to free up a roster spot for him. And
Um,
after with the week 6, go ahead.
I'll say give him like 1 or 2 games, like reserve a spot for him, and depending on how he plays those first 2 games, um, did he progress or regress, and um, we'll see from then. And then if it's not him, then the next man up.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. I don't look. I fully agree with you. Let's be real here. I don't think. Oh shit, we lost Jordan Willis for the first 6 games. Say goodbye to our Super Bowl aspirations. No.
Yeah.
I think that we will be okay. There is. I think what everybody thinks is. Let's be real. I think the first big domino that's going to be fall is they want to get Trey Lance's deal done, and they want to get Fred Warner's deal done. And then
Hmm.
I think there is some free agents out there. You never know as far as players that may be cut, surprise cuts, at the end of the year or something like that, who you can pick up, that somebody, cut, some veteran or something like that. I don't think the season's over, but I'm like you. I see how he plays in the preseason. And if he lights it up in the preseason and you feel that he's earned that roster spot and everything like that, then okay, hey, you keep him around. But um, like I said, I don't want to say character issues, but if it smells like a rat, it must be a rat. And if you're getting popped for PEDs more than once, there might be a little something funny. And so
Yeah.
if the Niners just straight out outright cut him, I think they would have already cut him. And let's be real, they might just be using him as a camp body. They might just simply say, "Hey, your job is to make sure Nick Bosa doesn't get tired in training camp, and then as soon as camp's over, we're going to cut you."
Yeah.
You know
And
that could straight up be, his job could just be, keep Nick Bosa's seat warm.
let me pull up
So
what's guaranteed. Does he have
yeah,
guaranteed money?
I don't believe so. That's a good question. That is actually a very good question because that might be if he has a lot of guaranteed money.
Yeah, he has a cap hit of um let me see. Um Where's it at? Where's it at?
Sorry, ladies
His
and gentlemen,
average
you're seeing some in live production.
his average salary is 990,000, and his cap hit is 850,000.
Yeah, so you got less than a mil cap hit. I mean, not ideal. Look, I don't think the Niners want to cut him. I think if they were going to cut him, like, hey, we believe you're a rampant steroid user, I think they would have already cut him already. You
Yeah.
know, so I think that it doesn't hurt to keep him around and see how he performs in the preseason.
Yeah.
And the Niners, he showed a little bit last year. And so the Niners aren't looking for a superstar pass rusher. We got that. You know, if D Ford's healthy, we got 2 of them. So we don't need him to come in and be a superstar receiver, pass rusher. But if he can spell Nick Bosa for a couple snaps, on some running downs, and everything like that, then I'm all for it. Or come in and
Yeah.
give us a little bit of pass rush. Awesome. Okay, Deshaun Hall, Travis Benjamin. No, I don't think so. Dante Johnson. I don't think so. Josh Johnson's already cut. Oh, we're getting some feedback here real quick. That was weird. Um. Okay, here we go. I'm getting some feedback. Sorry about that, y'all. Um. You know what? Why don't we go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and then we'll go ahead and no, I'll wait. I'll wait a little bit longer. I want to get through these. Travis Wilson, Jaquaski Tart. Are you bringing back Jaquaski Tart?
Oh yeah. I think this is again the consistency. He wasn't
Health.
active. Yeah, and um, if you can prove that this year, I mean, yeah, sign him. And not much like
I I think he's back next. If he stays healthy, I think there's going to be a little bit of a market next year. You know, I'm not giving him the highest contract. I'm not giving him more than a year or two. I don't think he'll sign another 1 year. If you want to tell me that Jaquaski comes out and it's a 3 year deal, which really is like a 2 year deal,
yeah,
with a voidable third year or something like that, I'm okay with that. Because let's be real, if Travarius Moore doesn't ruptures his Achilles, I'm okay.
yeah,
I don't think we need to re-sign a Jaquaski Tart next year. But with Travarius Moore tearing his Achilles, um, I don't want to walk in with Travarius Moore, Hufanga, and who else? Next year, I'd like to have somebody that I know that can compete at a high level. If it's going to be a reasonable contract. Now, like I said, if somebody wants to blow Jaquaski, if somebody wants to, like with KB, if somebody wants to blow off his doors, tip my hat to you, Jaquaski. Thanks for all your years as a Niner. You know,
yeah.
but I'd like to have Jaquaski Tart back. That'd be nice. Um, Marcel Harris. No, I don't even. I think Marcel Harris is a question to even make the roster this year, let alone come back next year on a second contract. Zach Kerr, I believe that's going to be a 1 year deal. Um, this is an interesting one to me, and I want to know your opinion on it, Brian. I'll start off first. Ross the Boss Dwelly. Um, I think this is an interesting one because the Niners seem to always be trying to find a second tight end. You know, they always seem to. Ross Dwelly always seems to make the roster, but the Niners never seem fully satisfied with him.
Yeah.
You know, and he's I and I think what they want is they want somebody that can come in and spill Kittle. And you can't rely on Ross Dwelly. Let's be real; it's a significant downgrade as far as run blocking is concerned. I think he's not, and he's not even going to. Obviously, very few tight ends are going to give you what George Kittle does in the passing game. But Ross Dwelly does fine as the second tight end in the passing game. I have no issues with them. I believe it's the running game. I would say if he makes a significant improvement, or at least even a 10% improvement in run blocking, I
Mhm.
would say yes. I think you can bring him in if you bring him in on a 2 year deal, or even a 1 year deal. Ideally, a 1 year deal. Yeah, I definitely do it. Even a 2 year deal, and maybe you want to draft somebody and you let him battle out in camp. Then okay, I guess. That's not ideal. I don't think you really want to waste a draft pick on a tight end, but I don't. Who else are you going to bring in? Are you going to be able to afford to bring in besides Wash Swelly? Your thoughts, Brian?
Well, I'm not too confident on him. Obviously, when George Kittle was absent for last year, we didn't even rely on
Yeah,
him
yeah,
until um, Jordan Reed stepped in, and until he eventually got injured himself, and we're like,
yeah.
okay, I guess we had to play him, and he did show some signs, and like who knows, he might take this leap. I saw him working with George Kittle, and that's always a good sign, with his energy.
Yeah,
Tight end
I mean, work with the
university.
greatest. If you, yeah, tight end university, tight end you. That'd be a fun place to go. Um,
Yeah.
but could you imagine the parties after you got George Kittle? Anyway, my dad played tight end, so and my dad used to say they knew how to party. But so yeah, I'm with you. Like, look, if he, stays the same or even regresses this year, I don't think, I'm not going to be heartbroken. But I'd like to see him back on the team. But I'm not giving him top dollar. I don't think there's going to be much of a market for him, like you said. Now I think that, look, if you get an opportunity to bring in Jordan Reed on a 1 year deal, you bring in Jordan Reed on a 1 year deal. You
Yeah.
know, um, so I don't think that was so much knock on Ross Dwelly as it was is, look, it's freaking Jordan Reed. And I mean we can't all admit that we were decided to see Kittle and Reed together. That we never really got it. But yeah, I'm not gonna cry tears of pain and suffering if he's gone next year, but I'm not gonna say I don't want him back. Um, okay, Jeff Wilson Jr. I think he'll be back. Kwan Williams, I don't think will be back. Now this is a very interesting one, and I'd like to get your thoughts on it, Brian. Right now, Raheem the Dream Mostert.
Ah, man. Um, I don't know. It depends how he really plays out this year, and definitely, I would definitely bring him back. I just I gotta see like him staying on the field, and it really affected on us when he wasn't, and we had to rely on our second back, our third back, which is kind of normal, but we definitely like had him heavy, but um when healthy, yes, of course. Um, he's staying here,
Yeah,
but I don't know. It's just his healthy, his health status is it's kind of risky, and I don't know his last contract extension. I don't know if we. I heard that we were like debating like if should we bring him back, should we not, because his age, you know, past 30s, it's really hard to stay in the NFL.
yeah. It feels so weird. Being 35 and I don't feel old. But when you hear about players in the NFL, and how they're 30, or 31, 32, and they're so old, get rid of them. It's like, yeah, but
Yeah.
what does that mean me at 35? But anyway, um, honestly, I love Raheem the Dream. We made the Raheem the Dream T-shirts last year. I was there at the NFC Championship game. I'll never forget his 4 touchdowns. But I'm not bringing him back. I think that he can be somebody's going to pay him. Now, fine. If by some reason he doesn't have the market, that everybody assumes he's going to have, okay, sure, yeah, I would love to have Raheem the Dream back. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, the man named his son Gunner. His man literally named his son a special teams position. And so love Raheem the Dream, awesome. But I'm not paying him top dollar. Not when we drafted Trey Sermon and Elijah Mitchell. And let's be real, Bobby Turner can pick out running backs from scrap heap.
Yeah.
And you want us to pay, so because let's be real, this is cap 101. When you give money to a player, you're taking it from somebody else. So are you taking money away from Nick Bosa to pay Raheem the Dream? I'm not. Are you taking money away from Fred Warner to pay Raheem the Dream? I'm not.
No.
Are you taking away money eventually from Brandon Ayuk? to pay Raheem the Dream? Nah.
No.
So,
No.
but you see what I'm saying? Are you risking not being able to keep George Kittle long term? As his contract gets more expensive, are you risking keeping George Kittle long term? To pay Raheem the Dream? I'm not. And I do believe somebody will pay him just simply off the fact he's been the fastest man in the NFL back-to-back years. You know, and so I think somebody will pay him. I believe maybe even Kansas City. Kansas City might say, "Hey, we don't need you to be our all-time back. You know what I'm saying? We don't need you, be our starting back or whatever like that. We just need you to be our spill back. You feel me? Our
Some depth.
second back.
Yeah.
Some depth. And hey, go play some special teams and we'll pay you." Now I don't know what Kansas City's cap situation looks like to be able to do that, but so yeah, I think that I would love to bring him back, but I think ultimately he's gone. DJ Jones, I think DJ is going to be back. I think that they love DJ. I would love to see him stay healthy, and I'd love to see DJ back. If somebody wants to yet again blow the socks out of the water, okay, fine. But I don't see a huge market for DJ Jones.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But if he can stay healthy, there might be a little bit of a market. But I mean, if some team wants to give him 5-6 years, cool, awesome. I'll give DJ 3-4 years, but I'm not giving him 5-6 years.
I mean, he's not
Brian,
going to
your
be.
thoughts?
He's not going to be a double-digit sack guy. He's going to be 6,
No.
7 at most. So his ceiling's not that high, but maybe his
He's a great run stopper.
yeah, his his value won't probably won't go up this year, and we can retain him. It's
Okay.
doable.
Now, Jason Verrett, if he can maintain healthy, I think that ultimately, if he can stay healthy, yes, I'd bring him back. But ultimately, I think that there's some team out there that will pay Jason Verrett.
Yeah.
I think there'll be some team that pay him more. Now, if the money's the same or similar, where it's like, hey, we can give you one less year, but maybe $500,000 more, or we'll give you more of a signing bonus. If it could be comparable, I think he'll stay with the Niners. But I mean, if some team wants to give him $2, $3, $4, $5 million more than we're willing to, I mean, he's going to go get his money. I mean, any player who deserves to get as much money as possible is Jason Verrett, because that brother knows that nothing's guaranteed, But yeah, Jason Verrett, I don't think that if Jason Verrett can stay healthy this year, I don't think it'll be an issue of the Niners wanting him to bring him back. I just think it'll be a issue of, can we afford to bring him back? Your thoughts, Brian?
Yeah, definitely retain him if healthy. I'm pretty sure he'll ball out this season, so I'm pretty sure someone, like you said, someone will offer him big money. Someone's gonna overpay for him, and it's gonna be a losing organization that is in need of a corner.
Yeah,
and
I think so too.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Watch out for me. Watch out for any player Niner. I will always watch out for the Sheetcocks with. You feel me? And also, I would watch out for the Jets. Any Niner that comes out a free agent, you would think that the Jets would at least, Robert Saleh. Now, he's not the one making the personnel decisions, but, you would think that he at least is going to get a phone call. I would think that Jason Verrett would at least get a phone call from Robert, somebody at the Jets, to say, hey, what are you thinking? So,
Yeah.
Brian, before we let you go, I want to go ahead and have you tell the people where they can find Niners coverage at.
You can find me on Instagram, Niners.coverage. And yeah, that's only the social media platform I have.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Brian. We shall see you next week. See you later,
Thank
bro.
you, Faithful. Thank you, Faithful.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go ahead and we right back. We're gonna go ahead and run a quick commercial break here in a second. Stay tuned. All right. Make sure you go ahead and follow Brian at Niners Coverage on Instagram. And we're going to go ahead. Where is it? Run through that. All right. We shall be right back. And we're back. So, thank you for tuning in for today's episode. Make sure you join Jason and I tomorrow on Niner Faithful Radio at 3 p.m. here on this West Coast. Same faithful time, same faithful channel. You can subscribe to our channel for free on Twitch. If you are Amazon Prime member, just go ahead and hook it up to your Twitch account, and you can subscribe for free. If you're listening to us as a podcast, make sure to rate, review, and subscribe. You can find out every platform you can subscribe at NinerFaithfulRadio.com/subscribe. If you are listening to us on YouTube, please hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that bell to be notified whenever we upload a new video. For the Faithful by the Faithful, pre-launch sale is happening July 30th to August 29th. Go ahead and go to NinerFaithfulRadio.com/shop for more details. Go to SeatGiant.com, use the promo code NinerFaithfulRadio to save on all your theater, concert, and sporting event tickets and help out the show as well. Get your officially licensed Niner gear by using our affiliate link. It costs you no more, and it really helps out the show. The link will be available in the video and podcast of this episode. Go to NinerFaithfulRadio.com to check out all our previous blogs, previous episodes, and all of our shows. Follow us on social media on Facebook and Instagram at Niner Faithful Radio and on Twitter at Niner Faithful R. I shall see y'all next week. We're going to go ahead and raid this channel. We shall see y'all next week. Faith, love, and happiness. Go Niners.
Now, 8 seconds to go. Third down. They only have time for 2 plays no matter what.